What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 19, and we're starting today's stuff on the back of the thrilling 2-2 draw at Molyneux, where Tony rescued us in stoppage time with this. My first manager job offer of the save, and it comes from Everton. Yep, Frank Lampard replaced early in the season, but why? 6 wins in 10, 20 points on the board, only 3 points off us and the Red Devils in second and first respectively. And Everton offered me the job. Why? Like, they're doing fine, EA. Why? And, obviously we mention this, quite often. You don't really, throughout the course of a career mode save, get many manager job offers. And, to put this guy in our academy, Tommy McGuire, he looks fantastic, man. 2.1 mil valuation already for the Northern Irish fullback. Yeah, I'm going to train to CM, though. Great stamina. Decent jump on him as well, to be fair, despite the fact he's only 5'8". But I think he's a ball-winning midfielder. Quite look at this guy, to be honest. He could be all right there as a DM. But you don't get many manager job offers in FIFA Career. You only get like 2, possibly the absolute very most free a save. I can't remember getting more than 2 in a single save, to be fair. But we do kind of want to see that. We do want to see more manager job offers. Teams inquiring about your services. If you're in good form, if you've got off to a great start in the season, if you're performing above expectations, but I don't know, it needs to be kind of realistic, doesn't it? I mean, Everton, really? I mean, they're fine. Like, they're absolutely fine right now. They've got a young team. They're a team in transition, as we know. And, Frank Lampard's off to a really good start this season. They're in 5th. They've got 6 wins in 10. Now, I can understand if they're in the bottom 3, and they've only got 1 win all season long, but why now? It makes absolutely no sense. Anyway, it was the Toffees who would take on for the first game of today's episode. Needless to say, I turned it down, of course. But Toffees, our first game of today's episode on the back of the 2-2 draw at Molyneux. And, well, after a great start for Nottingham Forest, things have slowed down a little bit. Yeah, Lewis O'Brien broke his toe in the game. Most noteworthy part of that game was Pickford's brilliant save, to be fair. But O'Brien broke his toe. He's done for 3 months. So 2 injuries to 2 of our CMs this year, O'Brien and Mangala, both going down. Thank God I signed Tommy Doyle, because he'll get a few minutes now in from Manchester City. But taking on Brighton for our second game today, well, just the 1 win in our last 5 Premier League games, and let's just say the honeymoon period appears to be over for Nottingham Forest, because we had an amazing start to the season where we won our first 6 in a row, but since then, just a 1 win in our last 5, and now taking on Brighton and Hove Albion, De Zerbi's side away from home. Well, heading into this game at the Amex, we fell behind through Alvaro Morata, the Spaniard. I swear he just exists for money laundering, for the big teams. It's unbelievable. Like, every single year he seems to be a different big European side. But Morata opens the score and Aaron Connolly makes it 2, and then after the restart, well, I kind of fell apart at this point. We'd been defending really well to start the season off, but despite the clean sheet against Everton, Senesi with a moment of madness. Yep, gets into Morata from behind, just lunges out recklessly, definite penalty, chance for the Seagulls to go 3-0 up. It's Morata versus Henderson, and the Spaniard comes out on top. Yep, denies Henderson from a penalty save, sends him the wrong way, and gets his brace and makes it 3. Now, interestingly enough, for that penalty there, I had no complaints whatsoever, but for this one here, yeah, I'm going to spoil it, 67 minutes in. What? Come on, EA. And I've said this before, like, far too many times you are penalised for a foul for things like this. What? The ball's been released, the shot's taken, and the follow-through of Yates trying to block the shot impedes Morata, but the ball's already in Henderson's gloves. He's already caught the ball, like a second and a half had already surpassed in time. And then the follow-through from Yates brings down Morata accidentally, and the referee gives a penalty. How is that a penalty? Like, to me, as Taiwo does bag us a consolation after we went 4-0 down to get something back from the game in our worst loss of the season, I think that's something EA do need to look into, as Morata bags the match ball and Brian get the 3 points. 1 win out of our last 6 now for Forest. The honeymoon period definitely over, but incidents like that, EA need to realise that I think because of the way their game mechanisms are in place, if they see an infringement where the ball has clearly been released for a pass, they'll see it as a late tackle and a late foul. But in real life, let's be honest here, they wouldn't even need to go to VAR for that moment there. It was a shot which Morata took. He cleanly got it away, and then like a second later, Yates just clatters into it. But it's totally accidental. It's just a coming together, you know. Morata wouldn't even appeal for that in real life, and it's given as a spot kick. So, I mean, I had no complaints about the loss. I deserved to get beaten, didn't play very well. And again, the first penalty was definitely a penalty. I just lunged in with Senesi. I was tapping circle like a man possessed because I just knew Brighton were going to work the ball inside. I was just trying to tap the circle button with a man in the middle. In the end, I didn't switch on time with Senesi, so no doubt that was a penalty. But for the second one, just completely accidental. Didn't press anything. The ball had been released. It should never, never, never be a penalty. But anyway, lost the game 4-1, so didn't really change anything in the grand scheme of things. But after one win in 6, well, like I said a moment ago there, the honeymoon period is over for Forest. We won our first 6 and now one win in 6. Yeah, difficult run of form for the Reds. Could we bounce back in this one? West Ham, David Moyes' side here. Well, the perfect start. We opened the scoring early in the first half. Henderson then made a great save, and then 6 minutes after the restart, when I said I was going to give him more minutes this season, it was a frustrated character last year behind Jesse Lingard, Morgan, Gibbs, White. Second goal of the season after he scored his first at Carrow Road, makes it 2-0, and we double the lead. But really, once again in this game, Dean Henderson was absolutely brilliant on the other end. Yep, shipped 4 at the Amex against Brighton, but what a save from Henderson late on to ensure we will get a clean sheet and get back to winning ways as well. Yep, Johnson with the first, Gibbs White with the second. Another assist for Rodri Round. I think that's 5 already for the season for Rodri in a 2-0 win. I'll certainly take that. We're back to winning ways in what has been a tough run of form. Following game, Wednesday night, Manchester United at Old Trafford. Could we get back-to-back wins for the first time since the start of the season during that 6-game winning run? Well, taking on the Red Devils here, Bruno Fernandes, top scorer in the division thus far. Free kick, 20 yards from goal. Oh, and it clips the top of the crossbar and goes behind for a goal kick. Did you see Worrell, by the way, go behind the wall and slide down to use his body to shield any kind of drilled free kick under the wall? That's a new feature for FIFA, and I really like that as well. You know, we see quite often nowadays in modern football, occasionally the free kick taker will try and catch the goalkeeper and the wall out by hitting it underneath the wall, anticipating a jump. When it comes off, it looks really cool. When it doesn't, it looks stupid. But even so, great animation now included into the game from EA, where you can now put a man behind the wall, lying flat on his side, able to block a shot if it goes underneath the wall. I really like that. Now, I'll be honest here, I've never actually seen anyone in FIFA, ever, in all of my years playing it, hit a free kick under the wall. I've seen him drill it low, but towards where the goalkeeper's standing, but not underneath the wall, towards the goalkeeper's far corner. I've never actually seen it from the AI or playing online. So, you know, I just wanted to try it. I thought it looked kind of cool, and it did, to be fair. A goalless draw at Old Trafford there, and I'll certainly take that in midweek with a mixed lineup out there against Eric Ten Hag's side. Henderson getting a clean sheet on his return to Old Trafford as a permanent Nottingham Forest player, but I just wanted to try it because I thought it looked kind of cool, and it did, to be fair. It did look kind of cool there. But even so, again, props to EA. I've got to say, this year they've improved quite a few things this year, and whilst I did bemoan them for the animations that can sometimes result in a penalty, they have improved things quite a bit this year, and I give them credit for that. So anyway, following game, first one of December. Loads of games coming in December, as we know, one of the busiest months of the football calendar, taking on Mikel Arteta's Arsenal off to a flyer this season. Wow. On the back of back-to-back clean sheets and back-to-back games without a loss, could we make it 2 wins in 3 and back-to-back wins at the City ground? Ivan Toney, the shocker, said yes. Another goal for the shocker. I think his 6th of the season, heading in a JWP corner, and Forest win it by a goal to 0. And I rarely show defensive highlights, but I had to do it for this game. Marcos Senesi was a brick wall. I mean, literally. And I rarely show defensive highlights, but Angel Correa was in his back pocket all game long. And I had to do it because I don't normally show defensive highlights just because it's hard to condense all the games into a 10 to 15 minute episode. But for this one here, I had to do it. He was literally flawless. I have to say, we've now picked up 3 straight clean sheets, and Marcos Senesi has got 9 of our 10 clean sheets this year. We've had 10 clean sheets to start this season off, which is ludicrous when you think about it. It's more clean sheets than we had in the entire last year. But the reason our defense has been so much better, I would say, is primarily because of this guy. 9 clean sheets and the assist for a stoppage time leveler for Tony against Wolves. Marcos Senesi has made a massive difference to my back line. He's been amazing. In for 19 million from Bournemouth, and he's just always in the right place at the right time. I love him. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. If you've not tried Senesi this year, guys, I know it's early days and a small sample size, only 13 games, but at the moment, he's been my best defender on FIFA this year. He's always in the right place, Marcos. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And a great man in the match display there in a 1-0 victory. So, 2 wins in 3. No goals conceded in 3. No defeats in 3. Following game, rock bottom, Sheffield United at Bramwell Lane. Winless this season. Wouldn't you just know it? We beat Arsenal, we beat West Ham, we draw with Manchester United Old Trafford, and 15 minutes in, we're 2-0 down against winless, rock-bottom Sheffield United. FIFA is a funny old game. Yep, 2-0 down. Cafu, who we gave to Sheffield United for free in exchange for Jayden Bogle, way back in episode 1, when Bogle was our first signing to save, opens the scoring, and then George Baldock, can you believe it? Long-term subs will know my history with George Baldock, from the Royal Latin School to Sheffield United via MK Dons. George Baldock never scored against me in school football, but does score against me here in the save. He represents Greece on the international stage now, George Baldock. Yep, Baldock from the Royal Latin School. Humble beginnings on those playing fields next to my school. Makes it 2-0 Sheffield United. But despite the Blaze having an early 2-goal lead, we'd been the better team in the first half. I just couldn't take my chances. We'd peppered Sheffield United's goal with so many shots, and I knew the breakthrough was coming at some point. The question was, could we get it before half-time? Yes, we could. Another goal for Ivan Toney as his scoring run continues. The shocker, heading in a corner for the second game in a row. What a difference JWP has made to this team. We're so much better from dead ball situations now. 2 goals from corners in 2 games, and 13 minutes after the restart. When I said he's making a difference, and there's his second goal of this season. What a signing from Southampton. JWP completes the turnaround with the assist for our first and the goal for our second. Sheffield United 2, Nottingham Forest 2, and late on looking to complete the turnaround and make it 3-2 and bag a game winner. Worrell taken down. Penalty! Penalty for Nottingham Forest. And I was bricking it because I don't know how to take penalties in this year's FIFA. It's changed. There's no cursor anymore. I was like, what's going on? What is this flashing up by the ball? I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to take the penalty. And in the end with Tony, I blazed it off target. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. Oh my god, I had no idea what I was doing. I had like 10 seconds to react, because if you don't do it in that amount of time, the AI take it for you, and 9 times out of 10 they'll blaze it into orbit. I might as well let that happen anyway, because I didn't know what I was doing. And I think I've figured out that what you got to do is when the radius is decreasing and then subsequently increasing, you got to wait until it decreases to as close to the ball as possible, which will be the sweet spot, if you will, and then you take it with your power and your accuracy. I think that's how you do it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. That's the first penalty I've taken in FIFA, and I'm sure you'll be hoping that's the last one, because that was shocking. But I think that's how you take penalties in this year's FIFA. I didn't realise there was a new penalty system. I knew there was a new corner and free kick system. I didn't realise there was a new penalty system in this year's FIFA, but fluff my lines to complete the epic turnaround from 2-0 down. I should have won it 3-2, and I absolutely bottled it. I didn't know how to take penalties, but I think that's how you do it. You wait for the sweet spot when the radius is as close to the ball as possible. Because I like that as well. It's like high risk, high reward. Because if you get it a fraction of a second wrong, it will go to the worst radius possible, from the best to the worst radius. I quite like that. But even so, oh man, I'm gutted. I should have won that game. I should have completed a turnaround, but I bottled the spot kick because I didn't know what I was doing. And in the following game, a loss at home to Chelsea, 2-0, sees us have our first loss at the City ground this season. Yep, 2-0 defeat at home to Graham Potter's Chelsea. They've become a bit of a rival team with us after last year's EFL Cup semi-final loss to them. But yeah, Chelsea get the win. Our first loss at home this season, and it's safe to say the honeymoon period is over. Yep, just 3 wins in our last 7 games for Forest, and we slipped down the table to 6th place. 2 games to go to the halfway point. Listen, we got 1 win fewer than the amount of wins we had all season long. It's still been an amazing start to the campaign, but we've got to regain some form if we're going to stay in a European place. But that will end today's episode of Kuruma, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you had, please drop a like. I'm going to go practice some penalties, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.